Welcome to America, the new America, where what is freedom? What is truth? Where do we get the idea of freedom? What does the idea of freedom mean? What does it mean to be American? What does it mean to be an American? What does being an American mean? We are surrounded by lies from Department of Truth. A lot of people trust the media, mainstream media, to give us truth, but yet they do give us lies. Journalists pride themselves on uh, telling one side of the story, but not the full story. Why do we accept this? Why is this acceptable? Who's going to stop it? You know, media outlets like NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC. I remember when CNN had their slogan "TV for smart people." But are you really smart for watching it? Doesn't it dumb you down just a little bit, if not a lot? What have we become as a nation when we allow millions upon millions of starving children, men, women, and veterans on the streets, but yet we're okay with allowing uh, quote unquote refugees back into our country? What are we going to do with those? Obama once said that we have hundreds of thousands of homes that are not lived in. Do you not understand that these homes cannot be lived in because they can't afford them? That minimum wage is below poverty line. Now, yes, I do get it that most people, if they didn't live above their means, but still, to afford these homes that are being built cannot be kept up with by the American people. Who is to say that the land that we live in should be kept, should be paid for by the American taxpayers to a government that we elected to trust us, but yet are they really keeping us secure? Donald Trump's illegal immigration ban is not a Muslim ban, so get your fucking story straight. God damn, that pisses me off. Where do you get that from? Oh, yeah, the media. Stop fucking watching the news. Turn off your televisions when the news comes on because all it is fucking faction. It's all lies. When has one media not paid attention to ratings? What do we know the most about ratings? Misery loves company. They bash people, they talk about negativity, they share their side of the story or the side of the story that they want you to believe. It's just like in my abnormal psychology class. My fucking professor wants us to write about an article, but yet the article that she wants us written about is a biased article, and all the articles on the website are all biased towards the liberal agenda. This is no joke. Now, at one point in time, I didn't find myself in the liberal or more conservative. I was just not a person of politics. Can't stand politics. All politicians lie. No truth can come from an honest politician because it doesn't exist. Someone once said that you should never make money in politics, but yet we have Congress, the Senate, these fucking joke of a judicial branch making millions of dollars, but yet they're not considered to be rich, sucking up taxpayer dollars. Where are the funds going for our taxes? I know where it's going, lining their pockets. They're real quick to go on strike and furloughing the American taxpayer, but yet they make sure that they get paid. Then when you get a fucking president like Donald Trump, who so far kept every single one of his promises as a politician, which is fucking rare enough as it is, you sit there and the left has to bash him like he's some kind of fucking evil being when he won the election fair and square because, let's face it, Hillary Clinton, it would have been a nightmare. You got women marching for the right to give an abortion for free. Since when has it been okay to kill a fetus, a baby, a person? Isn't that still considered murder? I know it's a touchy subject. Guess what? I don't care. As opposed, he said that you can have an abortion, but you have to pay for it. Since when is that not right? You should have to pay for it. You want to kill a baby, you should have to pay for it. You lay in the bed, you deserve the consequences. Men today who want to have a good relationship with their children are being thwarted off by the judicial system because they have no idea what it's actually like. They lump us in to a category just like everyone else. When is the American public going to realize that we hold the power? That monetary value means nothing. Money is just a piece of paper. And as long as we work their schedule, as long as we don't create too much of a ruckus, for what? By the time we're 80 and we can't work, now what? Now it's time to live your life? You can't live your life. I don't understand. The American dream no longer exists because the powers to be make it impossible to achieve. They dangle this little thing in your face. Oh, you should own this, or you should do this, and if you don't do this, you're fucking outcasted with the rest of America. Girls just want to have sex. They don't want to fuck a relationship. They don't want to get married. They don't want kids. They don't want a family. They just want to fuck. But there's no consequences to that, right, for them? Because that's all they want to do. But God forbid, if a guy, and I know plenty of them, want to be a player and just fuck a woman, that's not. Now, that's not the norm. That's just, it is what it, they're the fucking assholes, right? Women get knocked up. They use their kids as a psychological fucking pawn in a game. But that's okay, right? You all want to fucking protest, violent protest. This protesting is so violent, it's disgusting. For what? Because you lost? What are you protesting against? What are you protesting for? It's obviously not the violations of somebody's rights, because I don't know of any rights that have been violated so far. Illegal immigrants come into our country? Well, do it right. Do it legally. Nobody fucking cares if you do it legally. However, when you do it illegally, there is a problem. There's a reason why it's called legal and illegal. Learn your facts. This is going to piss a lot of people off, and guess what? I don't care. Know your facts. It's okay for Mexico to build a border or build a wall for somebody to stop crossing over on their territory. But as soon as an American crosses illegal over to them, all hell breaks loose. 2 years mandatory prison in a Mexican prison, plus fines up to including maybe death. But yet it's okay for them to send what they don't want over to America and live amongst us. Gangs. And you may say, oh, well, not all of them. But literally, I highly doubt if I put a bowl of M&Ms in front of you and told you five of them were poison, would you not eat the M&Ms? No, you wouldn't. Don't give me that horse shit. Well, if it saves the lives, you wouldn't eat the M&Ms, because if that was your case, then what you would be doing is worrying about the millions of Americans that we have starving and homeless and shelterless on our fucking streets. That's saving their lives. What, do their lives not matter? Oh, that's the life they choose. Is it, though? Is that the life they choose? Come on, man, let's get real here. Let's think about this. We have veterans that give their lives to our flags, and we have these little fucking pansy-ass douchebags going over there stomping on it, burning it. Let me catch one of you motherfuckers doing that shit. There's very few things in this world that piss me off, and that's fucking one of them. I'm sick and tired of the bullshit, of the nonsense. We are all just slaves to the system. There's no more slavery anymore. We are the slaves. We are the slaves. Every American, everybody in the world is a slave. You're a slave to your fucking phone. You're a slave to your fucking iPad, to your tablet, to your laptop. We lost the art of communication. You know why? Because it was taken away from us, and we allowed it. So tell me something. Where's your freedom? You think it's necessary, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to speak up. You think it's necessary for some CEO to make $27 million before he even accepts a position? You have corporations complaining about a wage increase for minimum wage and how, oh, we can't support it. No, you know who can't support it? Small businesses. They're the ones that can't support it. These large corporations don't want to take a penny out of their pocket, or their fucking their board of directors don't want to take a penny out of their pocket. They can afford it. Who the fuck is Wall Street? How does Wall Street run a fucking company? Wall Street don't know how to run a fucking company. The disbandment of Wall Street is what we should be looking after. We should be looking after the fucking massive CEOs like Walmart, like Target, like fucking Best Buy, things like that. Those are the companies that need to fork up the money and pay their employees more. And this whole fucking Obamacare, it's a fucking joke. It's a scam. I've known a lot of people that were fucked on Obamacare, including myself. So you see these little advertisements on Facebook and online about, oh, Obamacare saved my dad. No, it didn't. It actually cost him more. We need a united healthcare system that doesn't put more money and more ability into the pockets of politicians and corporations and pharmaceutical companies. We need a fucking healthcare that's set out for the American working taxpayer person. We need to stop the fucking madness. There's no reason to make more than about $500,000 or $600,000 a year. That's more than enough comfortable. And what could you do with the rest of the, I don't know, millions? Give it back to the American people. You want to make more? Really? I mean, think about what you do every day. Think about your life. Take a journal for 2 days and watch how fucking fucked up your life is. Happiness isn't found in money. Happiness isn't found in materialistic things. Happiness is found with good friends and good family. And even that's a joke anymore because everybody judges everybody for something. You get judged for something, you get thrown under a bus for something, you get made fun of for something. There's no fucking joy in the world anymore. Everyone's made fun of, everyone's picked apart. You can't do something this way, you can't do something that way. Your views don't match my views. What happened to accepting opposing views? Mainstream media is a problem. Congress not having term limits is a problem. Judges who don't go through psychology classes to hold a psychology degree, but yet indicate what can and cannot be held as law and what is constitutional versus what is not constitutional is a problem. Our forefathers, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, are rolling around in their graves right now. Because this is not what they had intended for the America that they built. For the break off of the British rule. There's no more oppression. Oppression is every American citizen, whether you look to your left or look to your right, they're all oppressed. We're all oppressed. We're all slaves. Slavery was banished hundreds of years ago, but guess what? It hasn't been. It was just reworded and retweaked. And that's what we call our lives. We're slaves to the system. We're in a political war right now. The left versus the right. And why is that? Oh yeah, because again, the mainstream media wants you to believe what they want you to believe. But when have they ever told you the truth? You want to find the truth? Find an unbiased, non-ratings, true organization. Somebody who doesn't care about ratings. Somebody who doesn't care about the left or the right. Somebody who cares about you. And I bet you it's very hard to find because everybody's motivated by one thing and one thing only, and that's money. And that's how pathetic of the country we live in is right now. We have people that saying, yes, let's do this, let's make a change, but yet they're so afraid to say that in public that they hide behind a keyboard. When are we, as the American public, going to rise up? When are we going to start realizing that we're being pinned against each other in a political game of chess, where we are the pawns? We have men and women and children overseas fighting a war for what? For America or for the politicians that run America? I'm not for either one. I'm not either for either side. But I'm for the side of the American people, and I think it's time we stand the fuck up and say something. I think it's time we stand the fuck up and start looking at our lives and realize, is this really how we want to live? Is this really what's best for our kids? You got teachers mandating whether or not a kid should be put on medication. A teacher. You have doctors that are willing to write prescriptions just so they can get an extra couple bucks in a bonus from a pharmaceutical company. You have doctors that are no longer doctors, who maltreat, who don't care. And it's very depressing because our doctors aren't really doctors now, are they? They're more of a medical book. They search through their brain and remember what it is that they went through, what, when, and where in that medical book of their brain, and they classify you based on that. But how old is that book? You have more kids coming down with mental disorders and more adults with mental disorders. And why? Because we're stressed out. And stress is one hell of a drug that pills and shots, things like that, can only mask. It cannot fix. To fix stress, you must find happiness. And to find happiness, you must break away from the sheep and the herd. And the more of us that we do that, the more of us we will be successful. But the more we go down the path that everyone else is walking down, the more our kids suffer and their kids suffer and the politicians win. It's all a big scheme. And who's at the forefront? Who suffers the most? We do. Because you think at the end of the day, any of these career politicians, your senators, your governors, your mayors, you think your congressmen, you think they're losing sleep? They're not. Because they get to go home in their big fluffy mansions and their big fluffy beds and kiss the wife that they believe is theirs, who's not actually theirs, but that's what they care about. You think they wake up in the morning and go, wow, let's see what's going to happen. How am I going to help America today? No, they're going to wake up in the morning and go, wow, you know what? Let's see how can I fuck over the American people today and line my pockets. That's what's really going on. And you want to talk about and call people who think conspiracy theories are true and how me even is crazy and I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's why I ask you not to listen to a word I say, but research what I say, and you'll find out that what I say is not far from the truth. We are all slaves to the system. And it doesn't matter what system, whether you're right wing, left wing, we're all slaves. Because at the end of the day, it's not us, it's them who win. And until we, as a society, stand up and realize that we have the power and we are the ones that can unite and disband and tear apart, not violently, but realistically, not hurtfully, but jointly. Until we realize that we are what's holding us back from our own happiness because you want to go and buy that extra house that you can't afford or buy that extravagant car. And I can't say that I'm not perfect. I've done it too. But at what point in time do we open up our eyes and realize that we're just getting fucked? Our heads are in the sand, our asses in the air, and we're just getting raped. It's not fair. And for who? And for what? America is not America anymore. America is just whatever it is. It's politician run. It's a great country. I love my country. I love my flag. I love my fellow patriots. I do not trust my government because at the end of the day, what is the government there for if they're not there to protect the people? And it's the people that they try to protect, and then you got the one people, then you got the liberal media, and then you got the George Soros of the world who silently sit back and wait for all hell to break loose and tell you what you should believe and tell you what you think you should believe. So the good career politicians are forced out, more evil ones pushed in, and that's the way they like it. Because at the end of the day, you listen to these people that have no idea what they're talking about rather than what they want you to believe. I want you to think about that the next time you sit at home and you're about to sit down and watch some TV. It's a throne of lies. It sits on a throne of lies. Why don't you pick up and read a book instead? Why don't you go out and call your buddy and have a nice game night with your family? TV is not the answer, my friends. TV is a part of the problem. They put on these shows, we idolize false people that we've never met anymore, any before. We idolize people, we pay them millions of dollars a year for people who don't even want to shake our hands in public, that very rarely want to sign a signature. You have career politicians preaching that the education system should be this and it should be this, and yet those same career politicians, when they go out and speak at a school, charge $400,000+ just for a visit. It's hypocritical bullshit. And I, for one, am getting really sick and fucking tired of it. I'm getting sick and tired of it fucking all. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones that fucking suffer. Not those fucking assholes. We are. And for what? Please help me understand for what. You got kids being brainwashed as early as kindergarten, up and through college, to conform to a system of sheep. They tell their part of the story through their curriculum that's given to them by who? The Board of Education? Or the individual teachers' agendas and their biased opinions? Homeschooling is the best way to school your kids. It has been proven that more homeschooling students are actually smarter than public school students. Public school students rely on tests and things like that to prove how well the sheep are falling into formation. That's all a standardized test is. It's irrelevant. It means nothing. When you get out into the real world, it tells you nothing. It does you no good. So really, what is it that we are teaching our kids in school? They're not allowed to ask questions. They're not allowed to question anything. They're just allowed to sit there, shut up, not move. And if they are a little bit interested or a little smarter or a little slower than the rest of the class, we force them on medication. Why? To get them to conform the rest of the sheep. These are our kids we're talking about. When a father tries to fight for his kids, they tell him he's got no rights. But a mother can kill her kids, drug her kids, psychologically damage her kids, and to have the court say what? Nothing. They're quiet. They believe it's just a one-off occasion, but it's not. It's actually really a long time, and it's actually really disgusting. We have brother killing brother over what? Over nothing. Over petty differences. Over words. Busta Rhymes said it best in his world level extinction event 2000. Couple of decades off, but it doesn't matter. The point of the message was clear. These Hollywood movie stars are just that. They're just movie stars. They're nobody special. Who takes political or life advice from somebody who just stars in a movie? They don't know shit. Who are you to believe them? Who are they to tell you what to do? Why do we think it's okay to believe them? Why do we think it's okay to idolize them? Whatever happened to idolizing your mother? Whatever happened to idolizing your father? Whatever happened to idolizing somebody of greatness in history? Somebody who proved that anything is possible, and with it possible, nothing is impossible. What are we really teaching our kids? What are we really doing for each other? I beg of you and I implore of you, please, step out of your normal day-to-day range and just for a second Stop and look about around you as everyone flocks to and from their normal everyday life. And think to yourself, is this really what happiness is? Is this really what I was meant to do? It's not. And I implore you to think about that. This is Man on a Mission, and I'll see you next time. And I implore you to think about that. This is Man on a Mission, and I'll see you next time. And I implore you to think about that. This is Man on a Mission, and I'll see you next time.